Hello everybody. This is the final presentation. Florian asked me to talk a bit about where you're at. We're obviously at KRC Genk. I'm going to tell you a bit about who we are as a team. We are a merged team since 1988. We merged from Waterschei and Winterslag, two teams who played in the first and second division in Belgium back then. We're from the coal mine area, so a lot of mine workers played in our teams. A lot of Italian guys, Turkish guys played in our football teams in the past. But since then, we've achieved a lot. I mean, we won the Belgian Championship for 5 times, and we're looking into a 6th one this year. We won the cup for 5 times. And the special thing about Genk is that we are a non-profit organization. I think we are the only team in the world which is a non-profit organization. So we don't get any investors in our team. Everything we do is just by selling players. We have the ambition to play in Europe every year. We didn't do it this year, unfortunately. And we have a highly rated youth academy. I think you all know Kevin De Bruyne, who played there since he was like 14 years old. Thibaut Courtois, Leandro Trossard, of course. And especially our keeper trainings at the youth academy is very highly rated. I think last season of the 16 Belgian prof teams, there were 7 keepers who originated from Genk. So, what do you do as a grounds team in Genk? When I started there 5 years ago, 5 years and 1 month ago, I came in there and we were with 3 people. We had Rolando, who was a great guy, and Wouter, the guy with the beard, and that was it. And we had the same amount of pitches as we do now, but yeah, the expectations were a bit less than they are now. We had old and few machines. I think we had 2 Dennis mowers, 1 New Holland tractor, and Owen Somers triplex mower, and that more or less is everything that we had back then, 5 years ago. I mean, it's not that long time ago, but okay. The training pitches were unplayable during winter time. I remember in my first year we had to recarpet the training ground for the main team because the players were up until their ankles in the mud. We were always behind with innovations. I mean, other teams were 5 to 10 years ahead of us. Investments in new equipment was rare, if there was any investments. And us as a grounds team, we had very little input. Everything that we get was just by the board who told us, yeah, you can have some new machinery, here it is. And it's not the machinery that we wanted, and that's been changed since then. And you can see a picture of our academy. That's a very unique thing in Belgium as well, I think. Everything is located at one site. So you have a stadium ground, the training pitches from the main team, and then the youth academy. This is the youth academy 6 years ago. So the pitches look better now, and we have 2 artificial pitches in the middle instead of the, I don't know even if it's grass, I mean, it's yellow. So where are we now? Since last Thursday, we had 8 people. Before we were with 7. Last year in May, we were still with 6 people. And I've been asking over and over again to get 8 people. I made a whole file to prove why I need 8 people. I counted every hour of work, and in the end, the board followed me, and now I have 8 people, and I'm very happy. I'm a very happy groundsman again. I mean, I have a lot of opportunities here, and I get what I want in the end. It takes a while, but at the end, I get it. Our machinery is up to date. As you can see, yesterday we installed a bit of our machinery. It's not everything yet, but we've grown a lot over the last 5 years. Our training pitches are in very good shape all year long, we feel. We don't have any hybrid pitches, but even without the hybrid pitches, we feel like the training grounds are okay. it could be better, of course. And if we ever feel like we can't do any better, then we're doing the wrong job. We always need to do better. We try to innovate in new technology. We try to be the first in a lot of things. Stogger is the best example, I think. I'm in frequent communication with our director of sports, Dimitri, and I'm very happy that Dimitri is here because he's a big supporter of the grass. Whenever I need something, it's, yeah, Eddy, can this improve our pitches? And when I tell him yes, then he just gives me a bag of money and go and spend it. So,
that'll be next year.
Yeah. So yeah, I manage my own budget, which is something unique in Belgium, I think. But it's just because we have a young board, and they believe in this kind of work. And every year I need to defend my own budget and ask for more, of course. But most of the time they follow me. We do smart investments. When we bought the first battery mowers 3 years ago, yeah, it was a big investment, of course, because a petrol mower was like half the price of a battery mower. But we tend to look further into the future, and we feel like in 3 or 4 or 5 years, petrol charge mower won't be allowed anymore. So that's why we went ahead and bought the battery mowers 3 years ago. We try to take a leading role in grounds management in Belgium. I know there are some pretty good teams out there as well, but we tend to make an example. We're doing we're giving a bit of an education here around for people to get to know the job and have a bit of a background. And we have a clear vision of the future. This is not okay. So how did we get there? Yeah, we had a change in staff starting from the top. My boss, the stadium director, he's 1 year older than me. He got in, I think, 1 year before me. Yeah. So 1 year before me, he started here, and then everything changed. We had a lot of young people with a new input in the team, and yeah, it's helpful as well. I get a lot of trust and freedom from the board. If I want something and I can sell it to the board, I will get it. I'm allowed to make mistakes, and I've made mistakes a lot. I mean, we've had Grayleaf for 4 years on the stadium grounds, and I don't get kicked out of the business for that. We just try to manage it, and every year we learn, and they trust me when I tell them we need to do this or that or that. So we made a multi-year plan. We know where we want to be at 2030 already, and we try to follow that plan. Of course, we're running a bit late, so my 2030 vision will be deployed at 2033 or something like that. But we try to take steps every year. Again, close contact with the sports department and the board. I mean, we talk to the training staff every day, and on a monthly basis we have a little meeting to discuss the pitches and what's going on with the pitches. And if they feel like something's wrong, then we talk about it and we try to solve it, because in the end, we're only here to serve them. And we work a lot with data. We use raw stadia. The sports department doesn't look into it yet, but for us it's helpful when we have a discussion with the team. If they tell me in wintertime the pitch is shit, then I just can show them that the pitch isn't shit, or maybe it is shit. But when it's not, I just show them the data and I tell them, guys, okay, this makes no sense, get over it. And then, yeah, a head groundsman should transition into a grounds manager. I think that's very much important. We are not the guys from 20 years ago who were still on the pitch with their big working shoes and not getting off the pitch. And when they wanted a new machine, yeah, I need a new machine. You should try and sell it and give an explanation why you need a new machine. You should be 50% on the pitch and 50% on your desk. And I get that kind of freedom at Genk. So yeah, some examples of how we make our work easier over here. We were the first team, the first professional team, I think in the Benelux, who bought a robot lines marker 4 years ago now. We win about one full-time staff a week by using this machine. So we do it on the training pitches, and we have 6 training pitches over here with all the extra tactical lines, of course. So it's more or less 8 pitches to line. Whenever we have one dedicated member of staff who's using this machine, and whenever he's on a pitch, he's doing some divots. So he's improving the quality of the pitch while using this machine. We use less paint with this machine. I think we use like 7 or 8 liters of pitch, and with a normal lines marker in the past, we would use like 11 or 12. But again, it's only used on the training pitches because on a stadium ground, it's just not working, and we're not willing to take the risk. We have some O2 pitches. Our training pitches for the main team are O2 pitches since 4 years. Back then, as I told you before, in wintertime we need to recarpet the training pitches because they were up until the ankles in the mud. So we went out and looked for a solution. We didn't have the budget for a hybrid pitch. We looked into stitching the training pitches back then, but we're moving into a new training academy in 2026. And it makes no sense to invest 300,000 euros in stitching a training pitch that's only been used for 5 years. So that's why we went and looked. And I saw the O2 pitches in Holland. For us, they are a solution for unstable and wet pitches. We almost get the same result in stability as a hybrid pitch with the O2 pitches. We feel like even the pitches are a bit warmer during wintertime because the lava that is in the pitches keeps the heat in. I know Reese, I don't know if he's here still, but he hates me for installing the O2 pitches. But I'm a very big supporter of it. The quality of the training pitches, since we have them, has risen beyond expectations. And we started with one pitch, and after 6 months, the training staff went to the board, and they told us to install another pitch the next year. So, and I think Genk has also an O2 pitch now. They came here and looked for it 5 years ago. We bought the pitch covers also 3 years ago. Because again, we have a very old training facility for our main team, so we don't have any undersoil heating. It's a picture of the stadium, but we hardly ever use it on the stadium grounds. We most of the time use it on the training grounds, because by using this cover, we can maintain a playable pitch even when it's -4 in the night. If it goes back down even more to -5 or -6, it doesn't help. But up until -4, we can keep a playable pitch for the training sessions. And 2 months ago, we bought another one because our youth team, they play in the 2nd league in Belgium, and we want to provide a playable pitch in the wintertime for them as well. When we use it on the stadium ground, when we have a big problem with the density, we put it on the stadium ground as well, and we get a lot more growth. So it's very helpful. It's a smart investment for us. And then finally, we looked into grow lights 3 years ago already, because we have a very close stadium, and we only had like 900 square meters of light 3 years ago. And my board of directors gave me a bag of money, and they told me, just go and buy 2 big more SGL rigs, which I support. I mean, they're very useful. But we try to look up until the future, and that's why 3 years ago we bought some Renec units with the LED lights in it. And then this year again, I got an extra budget, and we looked into something new, and that's when I bumped into Stogger, luckily. So I'm very happy with it, because I feel like the change in spectrum from the light, different colors, do help us a lot. We don't want that upward growth only on the pitch. We want the plant to be strong. And the strength that we get from using the different types of light is very, very helpful for us. And now I hope in about 2 weeks, I will be able to cover about 3,000 square meters on my pitch, and then we're finally where we want to be. The data-driven management, yeah, as we installed yesterday, it's helpful for us. We have a guy who's retired, and he comes in Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and he does the testing on the pitches. So the stadium pitches are being tested 2 times a week, and all the other training grounds are being tested 1 time a week. And we tend to look into tendencies over the pitches, and it's helpful for us to discuss things like the hardness of the pitch. Sometimes the training staff is complaining that the pitch is too hard, but then we just look into the data and we tell them, okay, maybe you're right. But if they're wrong, we tell them we're not going to do anything about it because we feel like it's okay. So it's not giving us more work, it's giving us less work some of the times. Then we have a new training center being built in 2026. There's a little video, yeah, okay, to give you an impression. Yeah, it's without sound.
Let me see.
So it's located behind the youth academy. There's a bit of a natural environment in between. It's located in a natural habitat, so it was very hard to get the permits to get it built. It took a long while. When I started it 5 years ago, they promised me it would be built in 2023, and now we're 2025 almost, and it's not even being the first brick laid. So. Yeah, that's being cut out as well, the light. So the new training grounds over there, we will have more or less 2.75 hybrid pitches. The original plan was to just build 2 hybrid pitches and 1 natural pitch, because the team thought when they have to go to Kortrijk or Zultewaregem, they play on natural pitches, they have to train on natural pitch as well. But in the end, we convinced them to go all the way hybrid because they need to train in the best possible way. 2 of the pitches will be heated, which will be quite helpful for us, because now in wintertime it's every year a discussion. When it snows, do we take off the snow or do we not? In the end, we don't take off any snow in the wintertime, so they have to find a solution. They have to train indoors or something like that. There will be a connection with the academy. There will be a bridge built into the natural habitat over there. And it will be in use in the summer of 2026. The plan is to start installation of the pitches in August in 2025, so that we have 1 year of growth. And then we do a renovation of the pitches, and after the renovation we will do the stitching. Because we feel like if we do the stitching at once, we don't get the same result as by giving it an extra year of growth in. So I think that's it. Yeah. I hope you had a good time at Genk, and yeah, maybe we'll meet again somewhere. Oh.